Hi, it's Anne from Curious Moon Designs. Please join me today and watch me make these beautiful tiered pockets to go in my sewing journal. Okay, well first I'm going to show you the basic structure of the tiered pockets that I'm going to make today. I'm making quite a few because I have different journals going on at the moment. But I'll show you 2 or 3 that are going to go in. Now you can make a pocket from anything. You can make it from newspaper, book paper, cardstock. I'm going to show you a few ideas. This one I'm making from a book page, and it's from my needlework book that I've been using. So I'm going to use this long way, so that the length is longer than the width, and you fold up so that you've got a deep enough pocket for your first pocket, about there, and then just fold that one over. So you have one pocket here and one pocket there. Now you could leave it like that and have it across the page and just glue these edges and decorate, but I want to have it a little bit longer, so I'm going to cut mine in half, and I'm not going to measure, I'll just go along the lines there. And so then all you would do is add that one to there. Then you've got 1 pocket, 2, 3, 4, and you could carry on the length you want, the number of pockets you want. And then you've got this area to decorate. I'm probably going to machine along here with some stitches, and I'll also sew mine together, but you could equally just glue it and glue some decorative lace along here, or different stickers or stamps. Now I've also made one out of a colourful piece of needlework book, so you can see the difference if you choose a pattern or colourful page. They're both lovely because you can decorate them both in different ways. I have got a page stamp. I'm not very good at using it, but you could create a lace effect. And then you have to line up that bit, I think. And again this end. And then that tears off. And then you're left with would show up better if I had that one on there, with a decorative edge. So that's quite nice. When you've got more time, you can make a better job of it. So I'm going to go away and sew these together, and sew the edges here. So I'll do that on the machine like that, just to give it a bit of decoration, and then I'll come back. Right, well, I've finished these pockets. I put a little bit of, this could be used as a belly band. I put a bit of tape ribbon there, and I've done different stitches all the way up. I just press buttons on my machine and just see what came out, really. So they're all sealed apart from that one. So if I'm going to glue it to a page, it won't matter, but if I'm not, I'll just put some washi tape across there, or some masking tape. And I think that one will look very nice. I've got some little tags to go in there, but I would like to put a word on there. I've layered up this one from my ticket labels. I'm going to pop that one on there, haberdashery, and perhaps a button. Something like that. And this one, I put a little bit of written paper under there, just so that the lace shows up a bit better, and stitch down here. So again, these can have some tags in, but I want to put something on there, and I've just torn this piece of paper tape, which I think will look nice on there, and this is out of a book I just inked up, so I'm going to pop that on there. So I think that will look quite nice in my sewing journal. So I'll stick all those down, and then I'll come back. Now the next one I'm going to show you is a fabric pocket in the same style. So I'm making a bohemian journal at the moment, so I'm going to use this. I think it's a fat quarter, this piece. But I think it will go quite nicely. And again, it's just a matter of folding up your fabric. This one I can pattern match a little bit, so the pattern continues. So again, I could sew up here, and I could sew up here, so I've got a double-sided pocket. I could also stitch along here before I sew it up to give some decoration, or I could make two separate pockets, so cut down here and have a smaller one. So there's lots of ways you can use just a little bit of fabric. For this one, I'm going to add a little bit of lace, as I think that will add to the bohemian style. So I'm just going to wrap that around there. And then I won't need to stitch along this edge to give any decoration. I shall just stitch down here to, I think I'll make it a double pocket, and I'll probably put a little bit on the top too. So I think that will look quite nice. So you can really play around with these pockets. There are so many ways, as you've seen on YouTube. So I'll go away and stitch that on, and then I'll come back and show you my next pocket. And here is the fabric layered pocket. So I've got 2 pockets there, and then there'll be a pocket here. I think this is going to go into my Bohemian journal, and I put the lace across there. I think that looks rather lovely. I don't think I need to do any more of that. I could sew a button on, but I'll leave it like that for now. So that was a very simple pocket to do, and I'll show you when I placed it in my journal. Okay, my next pocket, I'm going to use a piece of background card that we sell this on our Etsy shop, but you could use cardstock. It ought to be on a piece of card just to make it a bit thicker. And I've cut 2 of these, and I'm going to cut them into thirds. Then I've started. I've not been measuring, but sometimes the eye is just as good. Nearly. So I'll cut these. I'll do this off camera, and then I'll come back and show you. Okay, those are all cut, not equally, but what we can do now is just layer them up, and you can have as many pockets as you wish. And this one's slightly smaller, so that could be at the bottom. And again, I like using my sewing machine, so I'm going to stitch down here and down here. Now, of course, if you stick this entirely to a page, you wouldn't have to worry about the bottoms here, because they'd be all sealed with the glue. But what I'll do is, when I've stitched down here, I'll put some washi tape on the back there. But before I stitch, I'd like to have a little opening there. So again, what we do, I'll try and, I might go away and mark these so that they are equal, because it would look a bit odd going up if they're, well, it would be okay actually. You know, you could have one this side and one that side. That might be quite nice. But for this instance, I'm going to have them equal. So I'll mark out and punch those out. Then I'll go along and stitch it up. But again, before I do that, again, I do all this off camera, is I'll ink up just to give an edge. But before you glue down or go and stitch them together, you could do all sorts of decoration on here. You could do some more stitching, you could add some lace, or some, I might add some newsprint to there, just to give it a bit of definition. But I'll go away and have a little think about that one. Okay, I've had a little think and a cup of coffee, and I think I'm going to, I haven't tried this before, but I'm going to stick this on here and then cut an edge around, just to give it a little bit more definition. I'll ink up these edges first, and then I'll ink these edges, and I'll see what that looks like for layering. So a bit of sticking and cutting, and this is just from an old book. And I could, when I finished, put this onto a page, and then we'll just have writing. You could use it sort of, you know, just clip it into your book rather than have to stick it onto the page. So lots of ideas there. So I'll go away and do that, and then we'll see what that looks like. Right, well, I've been having a play around and I've cut these to size. What I thought I would do is have this as the pocket. So I'm going to just stick or so around the edge there, and that will be the pocket. Then that one will stick to that one, and so on, all the way up. Now the advantage of this is, I mean, you can have as many pockets as you want, but also you can have them as deep as you want. So you could have them quite long for large tags, or, you know, very small. And the tag would go in like so. Now, before I stick this, I've inked up all the edges, but I'm going to, well, I think I'm going to try it on one anyway to see what it looks like. I'm going to stitch along here. I mean, you could do it with a pen, just a stitch line, just to add a little bit more layering and definition. I think that would look quite nice, having the stitch there, and then it shows you the pocket there. So I'll go away and do that, and then I'll stitch the whole thing together and come back, and then we'll decorate the front. So I've stitched along the edge of here, and then to try and keep it neat, I just used a felt tip around the curved edge there, and then I've stitched along here, but you could glue it and then glue down here to make the pocket. Now once you've made the individual pockets, which are very easy to make, you then are free to build up layered pockets how you wish. So you could have it just straight like that, or you could have them offset, and then stitch down here. And with this one here, that would look rather nice. You could just have a couple offset. I'll have it at the bottom of the page. Or you could just use them individually on a page, and then we'll decorate the fronts there. So as you can see, I've made quite a few, so you can make them in batches and then they're ready to go. So I'm going to make a tiered pocket and one that's just slightly offset. So I'll probably just stick that to that one there, and it's ready for decorating. And I'll leave one just on its own, ready to use. Okay, I'll go away and do that, and then we'll come back and just decorate the fronts. Ready for decorating. I'm probably going to leave that one, so I may use it in another journal, but these two I think I'm going to use in my sewing journal. So I want to put a little bit of extra on here, and I've got maybe here, I've got a couple of the labels from the pack we've got on Etsy, but I think I'm going to layer it up and probably put a little bit of lace behind it. So I've just cut some squares and I'll put them something like that. And then I think I'm going to cut an edge around there. So I think that'll look quite nice. And then possibly a button that I made previously. Another label for here. It says fabric number 4. But again, I'd like to layer it. I think I'm going to put some fabric behind it, and then maybe some music paper. And I've got this, it's the end of a cotton reel. I've just peeled it off, so I might just have that there. And one of my handmade buttons, could put on the corner there or something like that. So, and I'm going to leave this one plain, just in my stash, ready for another journal, perhaps the Bohemian journal. So I'll put that to one side. So I'm going to stick these down, and then I'll show you what they look like at the end. Well, here they all are, all together. Finished all the embellishments. So I think that one will fit nicely on a page. But I could have it just pinned because I've covered the back. And then I've got this one. I sewed the button on there, and that one will go on a page. And then the ones I made from the book pages. And then I've got the one that I've just got as a spare. And then the Bohemian one, I think I'm going to have to put this as a side pocket, unless I make a very large journal, or I could have it half and half. So we'll see when I come to use that one. It's very pretty. I do like it. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that. I'd love to see what you make. Please join me again, and I'm going to make some side pockets next time, I think. Bye for now.